We weren't put on this earth to work. That's the way that we've been conditioned to think. Feeling good and being happy will bring more of that about. I like so badly want to film sitting in this chair, but our house has the weirdest natural lighting. There's no windows basically, but it's like it's so dark over there. But anyways, welcome back to another video. I'm trying to teach him not to do this. I swear to God, he just peed on my foot. He's like very excitable these days. He's about to get neutered. But these chairs, oh my God, you guys, are these just not like the most amazing things that you have ever seen? Anyways, it's like 10:30 in the morning. So I'm still drinking coffee and I need to sit up. Fast ramble. I got this dress on Amazon Prime Day. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the lioness dress. It's called like Military Minds. And I have it in lilac. I just love it, like because you can cinch it, like make it go down past my knees, or you can cinch it higher. That one's like 80 bucks, I think. And I don't know what this is originally, but you can tell it's like ribbed, but it's pretty similar. It's definitely a dupe for that. Quality obviously is not as great. I got it for like 20 bucks and I got it in tan also. Let's get into this video. Sorry, I haven't had all of my coffee yet. A lot of people need to hear this. It's really the daily struggle with unlearning hustle culture. I feel like some people don't even know that they're addicted to it, like, or that that's a thing, that they tie their self-worth to productivity. I know so many people who their jobs are their entire lives. I thought that way for a long time. My job was my life. And then when I got a new job and I didn't give a shit about it, but it was a good job in the eyes of society, I was so miserable, so miserable. But to everyone else, I should have cared so much about that job. I didn't give a shit about what I was actually doing. And I worked with people who were like god awful. It was just one of those soul-sucking jobs, like, but it was what I should be doing after going to college and getting a corporate job. I didn't get a corporate job out of college, and then when I got a corporate job, it was horrible. My therapist told me recently that subconsciously I care very much so about like being able to say that I work where I work and what my title is and what my level is there. And I say I don't give a shit about it. Like, I'll tell you that, but I care about it because that's what my parents care about, that society cares about. But unlearning hustle culture is also so much so about figuring out then, because you tie your self-worth and you love it and you're like addicted to it, like, okay, what do I tie myself with now? But we'll get into that. So my background, my dad is very type A, worked for a corporation most of his life, very much so, I would say like high achiever, like was valedictorian, went to an Ivy League school. He has his engineering degree, but also has his MBA, like very type A executive vibe. But my parents had two girls. If you guys know me, like it's me and my sister, but I am the oldest. I would say that I adopted boy mentality, but like I was the one who like played all the sports that my dad wanted me to try. I ended up doing gymnastics for most of my life, but he wanted me to try lacrosse and basketball and soccer. I played soccer for a little while. I wasn't like trying to make me a boy, but I was the one out of my sister and I that lived that out for him, or like, yeah, kind of for him. But I was also the one who was good at math and science. And then in turn, it's just crazy looking back how closely you try to follow some of your parents' paths without knowing it. I wanted to become an engineer, I thought. I wanted to be a lot of things. I want to be an architect. I want to be an engineer. I think architect was the longest one. I just love houses. I had to move locations because Wes wanted to make lunch and I was like, you're just gonna be making too much of a racket in the background. So back up in my office. The thing was, because I was like the oldest in my family and I feel like my parents really did place a lot of emphasis on academics. I mean, I played sports, but like, I don't feel like I was out there like winning shit. Well, in middle school, I was killing it at hurdles and track. I just felt like the way I was like raised, or like the way my family was, like I felt like I was always out there trying to like prove something. I feel like also my parents had pretty high expectations, like as far as academics and that kind of thing. I just felt like that shapes the way that your parents are and society as a whole is. I feel like it just shapes so much about like how you think about productivity and accomplishing things and being goal oriented and how that's tied to your self-worth. So I think this has really come about lately because I've been thinking about like, how do I want to spend my days ultimately? And it's not not sitting at a desk, whether that's in an office or at home, whether it's working my corporate job or content creation. Either way, I don't want to spend time sitting at a desk all day. But in recognizing that and trying to change it, I am having the hardest time shifting my mindset from I have to sit inside at my desk in my office from 9 to 5 every day. I will catch myself on days where I am not working and I am like, I'm gonna do content today, sitting at my desk. It's a habit that you can't break almost. I think, okay, time to get to work. I'm gonna sit down at this desk and stare at my laptop, and I'm like, I should be filming. And another thing is, I always think that I edit my TikToks on my phone, on an app. I don't need to sit in this office to do that, but I always come in here and do that. And like, I literally got this little stand thing so that I could sit here and edit them, and I wasn't like hunched over. But as I realized that, I'm like, why do I feel the need to be sitting at my desk all the time? But I feel guilt in not doing that. It's like the productivity is tied to work as we view it. So let's say you are like the average person who has a 9 to 5, and let's say you're remote. You shouldn't feel like you were chained to your desk. That is a mentality that we've just picked up, I think. And I don't know if everyone is the same way, but like that's how I am. And I think my husband's the same way. He spends all day in his office, besides when he like takes a break to like cook lunch or something like that. You don't need to be chained to your desk, and you should feel like at lunch you can go take a walk, or I think you should be able to go run an errand. And everyone's job is different, but I think that I'm gonna say the unpopular thing here. There's this TikTok about this girl in marketing, which is what I do.
It's not a fire drill. No ma'am, no it's not. We work in marketing. Anybody, any coworker, any manager that treats it like it's a fire drill, that's a them problem.
Nothing in marketing is a fire drill. We are not doing open heart surgery. We are not saving lives. Don't get me wrong. I think that some things are time sensitive. I get that. But I would say 80 to 90% of things aren't. And when you view your life as a whole, you should be prioritizing things that make you feel good. Yes, you can get your job done, but I also think like for your mental health, take a walk. Take breaks every hour, get up, move around. I also think one of the things that I personally enjoy doing, but I think this is because I have ADHD, I like will get up and like lift weights, which is kind of weird. Every once in a while, but like light weights. Like I'll just do some arm exercises or some squats, but it's like a reset in between being productive. Anyways, okay, that's kind of a tangent here. You should do things for you because your self-worth shouldn't be tied to your productivity. But what it is about, society has conditioned us to make it feel wrong to want to do nothing. But when I say nothing, I don't actually mean nothing. I think if you're sitting on the couch all day being a couch potato, like, don't do that. I think society makes it so producing something makes you worthy and then deserving of rest. But you have to do that in order to deserve doing something for yourself. To take a walk, to go read a book, to go get a massage, whatever that is. We're conditioned to think that we have to do something in order to deserve that. There's like a quote or something that's like, you don't have to do anything to deserve to rest. That is just a part of being a living, breathing human. You deserve that. Okay, back to what I said about prioritizing your job. And corporate Natalie, who I was thinking about this TikTok where she's like, I'm gonna get my work done, but I'm gonna be at the pool doing it. I used to have a boss. She was so great. She basically was like, I don't care where you work from. I don't care what you do. As long as your work is done, that's all I give a shit about. And that's the best kind of boss, in my opinion. Sure, if you're never online or like you are all the time, like that's not being, you know, a good employee. But if you can get your work done from the pool, like I don't see anything wrong with that, but that's my opinion. Ultimately, what I've realized is it feels wrong to want to take care of yourself. Like that's a job in itself. Being a mother is a job. Taking care of yourself, my subconscious, like you can't say that. Taking care of yourself is a job. I'm not saying be a piece of shit and do nothing. There's this YouTuber that I love. When I watch her vlogs, I used to think, this is like my mentality before, outside of her filming for YouTube, I would be like, oh my god, that must be so nice to spend your day just going to Pilates and then, you know, like decorating your house and cooking and then reading. And then I realized it's literally because subconsciously I am jealous. I envy that because we're conditioned to think both ways. I think for women though, corporate, you know, go after your corporate life, whatever, whatever, be work-oriented, goal-oriented, but at the same time, there's pressure to also be a mother. And then some people think you should be a stay-at-home mom, and you quit your corporate job, and then you're not as good of a mother if you go back to work and you're spending all your energy and time on that. But life shouldn't be so complex and hard. I'll say that in quotations. Life is what you make of it. See, this is the thing, like, I feel like so many people don't even know this, but our parents shape the way we grow up. And when you see your parents working when you're younger, like, that's likely what you'll do. If your mother was a stay-at-home mom, that's likely what you think you'll do, whether you, like, acknowledge that or not. I think I thought I would always work, but at the same time, my mom was a stay-at-home mom, so I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But society has also taught us that, like, what you want to do day to day doesn't matter. Like, you have to work, you have to do this, you have to do a 9 to 5, like, or whatever your work schedule is. But things that are important to you, like things that you truly enjoy, can be a career and can be sustainable. And our capitalistic society teaches us you have to work harder, to earn more, to move up the ladder, to buy more shit that you don't even want, but you care because your neighbor has it. It's so ingrained in us that we don't even think we're doing it, even though we are. We weren't put on this earth to work. That's the way that we've been conditioned to think. I was thinking about, I don't know, we end up living to work and then we all, I don't know, something depressing like that. But like, we weren't put on this earth to work. We were put on this earth to, great question. It's a process, and I feel like I'm getting there, and I'm struggling with, and I'm sure other people are too, and I wanted to share what's helping me. It's really just working through it and like slowly incorporating more things into my day where I don't feel chained to my desk. It's being conscious about getting outside, getting out of my house, and doing things daily that you enjoy. I started painting again recently, and I finished this painting, and then I haven't picked it up again because I've been busy. If it's a priority and it's something that I enjoy, like, I need to make time for that. But at the same time, it shouldn't be make time for that. It's so hard to talk about this because I'm still so conditioned to think you need to be doing something with your day. I've always been so goal-oriented, and I'm like, I'm a hard worker, I'm type A, I'm this. But like, ultimately, if I could spend my days doing what I said I called us earlier, like going to Pilates, cooking, reading, hanging out in the yard with my dogs, I would do that, because life doesn't have to be any harder than that. And it's so hard, I think, for us to grasp that, and I'm sure people disagree with me, but what's important to you is what you should do. What you enjoy is what you should do. That's what you should spend time doing. I know I want to say it's such a weird concept, but it's not. Like, it's not. You should spend your time doing what you enjoy. It's hard for people to wrap their head around. But slowly adding things in more and more, and like meditating, I feel like is the biggest thing that's helping me, and thinking about like, what do I want to spend more of my time doing? What do I want to spend less of my time doing? That's a big one. I always talk about this book, The Firestarter Sessions by Danielle Laporte. This is my most read, most well-loved book. Like, this thing is probably gonna fall apart. It's disgusting. I've taken it to the beach with me like 75 times. It is literally arcane. It's the best book in the world. And if you feel like you need help understanding more of what you do enjoy doing and what you want to do less of, this is a really good book. But this I am reading right now, and I feel like it ties really well into this. I had never heard of her, but I had heard of this podcast. I also love books like this. Like, the pages are glossy. I really love the texture of the cover. I'm so weird about books. I really am loving this book, but it's called How Are You Really? Living Your Truth One Answer at a Time. How are you really is like beyond that. How are you good? I'm good. I'm good. I'm fine. Are you happy? Are you living life according to what you want to be doing? And it's hard to figure things out like that, but I promise you can do it. We're getting there. I'm getting there, and I feel like I'll probably talk about this again when I feel like I've figured it out, because I feel like every day is a struggle between grasping this concept. But I also know that ultimately doing more things I enjoy will make me happy. Feeling good and being happy will bring more of that about. Love you guys, and would love to get your thoughts on this. I always find it so interesting, like, hearing other things that people think society has shaped in our lives that we like don't really realize or think about. It's such an interesting concept to me. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we're gonna get a filming setup going here. Like, I'm so tired of this blank wall back here. Hope you enjoyed this, and if you're not subscribed already, please do. We're finally on an uploading schedule of more than once a month. The goal is 1 to 2, but more is always coming. And follow me on TikTok. I feel like that's the platform I'm more active on these days than Instagram. Those will all be linked below. And love you guys. I will see y'all in the next one.